seems like you had some powerful motivators, right? You don't want to go back to school. You need to prove your family right.
Actually. I finished,
but you don't want to get a job.
my BBA.
Right.
My BBA. So I wanted to do MBA and like master and stuff like this. So I did 3 or 4 years after high school, and I could take a break and like then continue later, passing other tests. So it makes sense, you know. It was not during midterm of, you know.
Was there a moment when you're playing online that something changed? Like either your game changed or you had a real good financial score, that, you know, something that really propelled you from being in the greater, wider pool of poker players to this like niche kind of like high stakes scene?
I think we had some good French friends. We were like a group of French players who all help each other. I think we were like very smart and very. Some were very disciplined. Some were like we all have different kind of characters, and I think we all help each other into like moving up in stakes and becoming better players in general.
How do you find each other? Because I've been thinking about this myself
I
recently.
actually don't remember. It's like, oh yeah, we had just some of them. I met them in tournaments, you know, when I was playing tournaments and traveling around. So, you know, you just have connection between French players. And then someone started a site called Limpers. It's like Cal Runners, but in French, you know, coaching site.
Right.
And then he asked back then the best French players in like different games. And then we had a little group.
So you use coaching?
Yeah. We had a coaching site for not very long.
How did you find that?
I didn't like it too much because I think I'm not super good in coaching, but it was okay. I learned too, because sometimes when you think about what you do, I mean, make me help getting better in my game too, because I just thought like, why do I do this? Sometimes I do something I don't know. So when I need to coach, I think more about some sports and help me get better.
I think that's why Twitch at the moment is very good, because like if someone is they're on live stream and they're trying to explain every single hand, it's like reinforcing.
Yeah,
it's like reinforcing that learning and commentary. I imagine Kane and Randy, who's out there at the moment, it's kind of reinforcing their learning all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good actually, learning when you try to explain and to put on paper why you do things. You know, something you do it as a reflex, as you know, you do it because you know everybody's doing it, or you do it from your memory and stuff. But when you think about it and put it on paper, I think it reinforces like your how do you say it, why you do this, and reinforce your opinion on what this kind of sport, what to do.
Because you have to fully explain it.
Yeah, you have to fully explain. And if something doesn't make sense, you say, it doesn't make sense, and maybe give you a new idea of how to play this, you know.
I used to have a coach, and he used to really bug me. He used to say, why have you bet $5 there and not 7? And that question used to drive me insane because I could never answer it, you know. And I realized in that moment, this is not for me. I'm never gonna be a professional poker player. So back then, when you're playing, you're coaching, you're getting into this.
It's video coaching, not personal coaching.
Yeah, like online coaching.
Yeah. Not too long.
How are you feeling about poker then? Is it like completely overtaking your life? Are you like completely in love with it, and everything else just goes to the side, or is it just a part of your life and you're in love and you have hobbies and interests outside of that?
I was like 100% poker. I was, you know, it's like from the time I wake up until I sleep was poker, you know, fully poker. Way more than now, you know. I just wake up, play poker, eat with some friends, talk poker when we eat, you know, what hands we played, what we're doing. Afternoon, it was entire poker for a few years.
I remember being completely football mad all my life, thinking I would be Manchester United mad until the day I died. Nothing would get ahead of that. And then I found poker, and all of a sudden it became like this mistress that dragged me away from my football, and I could never explain it. Maybe you could do a better job than me. What is it about the game that makes you want to get up and do nothing but that?
I think it's because it's a game where everybody gets better. So you play this game, you think, oh, it's a fun game, and you have a progression. I think it's, you get addicted to getting better and better, better. You know, the more you play and the more you understand, and you want to reach a higher level every time, and you're becoming better and better, and I think it's what gets you in the game. It's patient to get better. I think I would say that.
So, what are your metrics for success then? Are they financial? Are they something more abstract?
I mean, back then online, just grinding up the stakes. So the higher you play,
okay,
it's more proportional to the level too. I mean, the higher you get, the tougher the field is. So I took it as a video game. You know, it's like, oh, I want to play 50-100. You know, not only for money. Like back then, actually, not even for money. You know, I didn't care too much about the money itself. I always had big swings, and always, when I was younger, I always didn't care if I lose too much or win too much. I just wanted to play at the higher stakes because it was where you get the best players. I am Rui Cao. I am high stakes poker.